Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 20th day of December in the year 2021. Sure hope you're all enjoying your Monday, no matter where it is you are in the country. A very chilly day here. Woke up this morning, it was 28 degrees, but of course it is the day before the first day of winter, so it's what it's supposed to be finally. But do hope you're enjoying your day, and as you do every Monday evening, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you the current week's news, and I'm grateful to you for that today, as always. And the front page is our annual Christmas picture and passage, and I'll get to the Christmas wishes very, very shortly, but something that has been important for us to do every single year. And we also have greetings for Kwanzaa on the front page this week, too, which begins later on this week. On the bottom of the front page, Bergen County will soon be housing all of Passaic Countys inmates. This is a plan that was put together by the county executives and the commissioners in Bergen and Passaic. Bergen's got a very modern, big facility. Passaic has very minimal inmates, and it kind of made sense for Bergen to kind of look for new ways to save money and generate revenue, and this was one of the ways that they're doing it. All of the inmates from Passaic County will be transferred to Bergen County, where there's a significant amount of room and more modern facilities. And all of the female inmates from Bergen and Passaic will now be going to Hudson County. Now, currently in the Bergen facility, there is a small wing for women. I think there's like 20-something or so average inmates in that wing, but it's got room for 95 to 100. So that space is being underutilized. So all of the female inmates from Bergen and Passaic are going to be transferred to the Hudson County Jail in South Kearney, where they'll be housed from now on. So this is a shared services agreement that is becoming a lot more popular and logical for counties. Municipalities do it too. And Jim Tedesco, the county executive, Steve Tonelli, the president of the Board of Commissioners, the chairman, rather, of the Board of Commissioners, are all in favor of this, and the same goes for the county executive and commissioners in Hudson and Passaic counties. So it looks like it's a win-win for everybody, and it will generate a significant amount of revenue for Bergen County, which is exactly what would be music to the ears of most taxpayers. So good job there. As we move along, a couple of stories just to get to this week. In the case of the terrible brutality at the Edna Man female women's prison, one of the staffers that was charged last week comes from Bloomfield. So we have a story about him and his involvement. My colleague Ron Lear has a story about how Kearney will soon be seeing federal monies to pay for damages caused by Hurricane Ida, and this is certainly coming at a good time. There was significant damage, especially to Harvey Field, so we'll see some of those improvements being made, and the federal government will be covering the costs. Ron also has a story about the Little League field in Harrison. If you've passed it on Harrison Avenue, it looks like it's ready, but it's not. And Mayor Fife says that there are just a couple of punch list items that need to be finished before the officials there will do like a ribbon cutting and officially open it. So that should be coming very, very soon. But check out the story that Ron has when you can. This came to us from the mayor's office in Belleville. At the high school, this did not come from the mayor's office. It came from the superintendent's office. There were two survivors of the 2000 Seton Hall University dormitory fire at Boland Hall who came and spoke to the senior class at Belleville High School a couple of weeks ago. And they shared their amazing stories of how they survived and the horrendous burns that they experienced. And since a lot of these kids will be off to college and university for the first time being on their own, it was a tremendous program. But the two guys who spoke were just remarkable. And there's a documentary about them that's called After the Fire, and I would highly recommend it. That was such a tragic day. It's hard to believe it was 22 years ago when that fire broke out on the campus of Seton Hall University and killed three college freshmen at Boland Hall. But a very tragic story. But these two survivors, who are just amazingly positive and influential young men, well, they're not so young anymore, are just remarkable, and they give a wonderful presentation at Belleville High School, and I hope you'll read about that. As we have for the last 2 years, Santa Claus has a letter for the young ones this year. Our buddy Jack Satter, thank you, Jack, for that, and to Santa for taking the time to do it. We have a couple of other things, including some holiday pictures this week. We'll have some next week as well. There's a whole bunch of holiday pictures that people have submitted, so we'll get to that this week, and I'm sure there'll be some next week. Jim Haig has his annual Santa Haig column, which is always enjoyable to read, not just because he writes about us, but some of the things he writes in it are just hilarious, so I hope you'll check that out. He also has a story about the Belleville High School girls basketball team, and the same for Kearney High's boys basketball, I believe. I looked at it earlier, and now, of course, I'm drawing a blank, but there's one more story in this week's sports section, and I believe it's Kearney High basketball, somewhere along those lines. So you'll forgive me if I've completely screwed this up. I only read it a few minutes ago, and I should know. Just give me 1 second. I want to make sure I get that right. Maybe it's wrestling, but it'll just give me a second to call it up, and because it takes forever, it's going to be, it's wrestling. So I apologize for that. And, of course, in this week's newspaper, we have 11 full pages of holiday and Christmas greetings from businesses and individuals to their customers, friends, and readers and residents. So I hope you'll check all of those out. They're the most we've had in a long time. So there's, like I said, 11 pages worth of them, and each and every one is very, very heartfelt to all of the people who read the paper and who are customers of so many different businesses. So check that out, starting on page number 16. As we do every week, there are 2 pages of classified, so if you need to rent a place or if you are looking to buy or sell something, you have a job, you need a job, check them all out in this week's edition of The Observer. And it's hard to believe that in just a couple of days it will be Christmas, but it is. And so to all of our readers and to all of our advertisers, on behalf of Lisa, Bob, Tina, Michelle, Kim, Jim, Ron, myself, everybody here, we wish each and every one of you a wonderful and extremely, extremely great and peaceful Christmas. And to any of our readers and to our advertisers who also celebrate Kwanzaa, that's coming up on Sunday, we wish you all the best and most joyful time during the Kwanzaa season as well. That's going to do it for this edition of The Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for logging on. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Enjoy the rest of the Yuletide season. And we'll see you back here 1 week from today from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com. Kevin Canessa signing off for now. We'll see you back here very, very soon.